Welcome to the WSO Weekly Wrap-Up, where I talk with my team about the 5 most trending discussions in the Wall Street Oasis community. Enjoy. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the WSO Weekly Wrap-Up. Today, we're just going to go through 3 of the top discussions in the past week. Matt, kick us off.
Perfect. Thanks, Pat. So March 30th, guys, Thursday here. First topic that we've seen in the forums trending, and one of my favorite ones here. What's the dumbest thing you've done in a meeting? This is great conversation given remote work is still prevalent in today's time. I would say myself, dumbest thing I've done in a meeting was actually here at Wall Street Oasis. It was by mistake, Pat. I don't know if you remember this. I think 2 summers ago when I first came on board, we have our Monday morning weekly calls with the team. I thought my cam was off. For whatever reason, I had no shirt on when I was on cam.
I do remember.
I did not even remember that for whatever reason. I just remember you pinging me saying I had to shut your cam off. Be a bit more careful. And so that was definitely a bit of a
coming straight from the gym.
Yeah, I just did not even realize it. So now I'm definitely, my eyes are always looking at that little green dot beside my webcam here on my laptop to double check. But that's definitely
I'm surprised after 16 years, that's the worst we've seen on a webcam.
And if I'm not, that was during COVID, I guess, right? So that was the other remote work. That's why I know Wall Street Oasis, we've always been remote, but that was definitely, you think I would have been a little bit more used to that now too, but yeah, I don't know. I have no explanation for that. I was pretty embarrassed. And yeah, I don't know. What do you guys, anything you guys have come across in your own times?
Nabil, how about you?
Even I guess in person too. I mean, we don't have to keep it remote, but
Nabil's always polished. He doesn't have anything embarrassing. It's well, I'll tell a story. So like nothing really in a meeting as much. I mean, I've kind of in terms of like dumbest things I've done, maybe like spoken up when numbers like don't look good in front of like to an MD or something like that. Been a little bit like too comfortable with the numbers and just like spoken up before letting my VP or associate chime in. So I'd say probably a little bit of that. I was probably sleep deprived and like couldn't even see straight though, so I didn't care. But a funnier story is like when I was an analyst at Rothschild, I remember going home near Boston for like the 2 days I had off for like the whole year or something. It was around Christmas and I got a haircut. And like I told the guy like I want it kind of short, but he like went really short, like military, like basically a 0. And then like one of those fades, you know what I mean? Like really, really aggressive. This is back in like 2002. It wasn't like as it ever like.
It's not as trendy. I was gonna say that's like the trendy.
That's trendy, but it was
the skin fade.
It was like a skin fade, man. So I get back in there and there's an associate. He's hilarious. This guy was hilarious. The loudest guy in the entire floor. He was an associate at the time, but he walked around like he was an MD. Like basically like just on good terms, you know, like on good terms with all like the CEOs and all this stuff. Just guy was hilarious, like really loud, obnoxious, you know, typical banker, you know, spends more than he making on his base, like party hard, you know, needs that like $500,000 bonus not to go
Hermes tie.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, everything. And just he'd be like, Curtis, come on, man. Like, you know, stuff like that. So I'm sitting there in the bullpen and I know I'm gonna get shit. Like I'm like trying to just hide in my cubicle. And all of a sudden, like I like see him out of the corner of my eye way down the hallway, but he can kind of see it in the bullpen and I hear, Curtis, you can't get away with that. Like just screaming, hazing me, like in front of the whole office. And I'm like, oh God.
They probably thought you were joining the military or something.
Yeah, everyone was making military jokes, and yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Luckily.
Well, I got a follow up on that. Did you go back to that hairdresser after?
No. Well, it was back I was in New York. It was when I was back home in Boston. So like, you know, I was just like, oh, quickly just trim it up or whatever. And he was like,
well, now I follow up on my follow up. How much did you pay for that? Was it like, were they giving it away for free, the cuts there, or was it like a decent? You probably can't remember.
I don't know, $20 or something back then. It's like a $20 haircut.
Well, I know. I thought I saw something. I think some certain places in New York now are charging like $200 for a haircut, for a men's haircut.
That's right.
Which is absolutely ludicrous in my opinion. I'm still getting my cuts for $50. I don't know what the going rate is.
I still get my haircut for now $0. I just do my own with a buzzer. Can you tell? I'm sure people can tell, but
keep the money in your pockets, right?
Yeah, I'm balding anyways. I'll be bald and I'm thinking I'm just gonna buzz it all soon anyways. So
no, Pat, you gotta fly over to Turkey, get the hair.
Get the hair fixed, yeah. Transplant.
You guess what you guys telling me? I don't know. Is it really good?
Pat, there's a lot there.
It looks real.
Better. I see people, even just at my own gym, there's been at least like 4 people that have done it randomly within the past like 3 months.
Wow.
And it's looking good. And I've seen, I've looked it up myself.
So what is it, like hair plugs, but just more like done better or something? It's hair plugs. It's from your own hair.
From my understanding, they take it from the back of your head. No, we're getting out of
this is important.
Getting on a different
deal. I can see you're pretty young. I think you're going to be having the same issue.
Yeah, I'm going to go there. Yeah. Sometime in the future, like in a couple of years.
Yeah, and I will too. I would say still pretty tiny. My hair is super thin, but nonetheless, take it from the back of your head, and then they put all the little follicles back in the top of your head there. But I think Turkey's well known for it, and it's much more cost effective compared to doing it onshore. But I guess that's a lot of what people in our audience will be looking forward towards if you're obviously male, stressful jobs and investment banking, the trade-off between lots of money in your early days to your hair in your 40s and 50s. So if you're signing up for this career, you probably have it coming. But let's move on to the second topic here, guys. Another one that's been trending in the forums. And I guess we'll start with you, Pat, given you're the older one here on the panel. It was around your walkaway money. How much do you need to get paid to walk away from your front office job? So Pat, we'll kick it off with you. What's your walkaway number? Obviously WSO is a little bit different, but if you
when I was like an analyst back then, you could have I couldn't have stayed in high finance. Well, I couldn't have stayed in banking. So if it would have taken a lot of money for me to stay, I would have. I was going to leave either way. I think everyone knows I was burnt out after my second year at Rothschild. So it would have taken me $0 to walk away because I was ready to go anyways. But if you're talking private equity, probably for that time, it probably would have taken me probably only $2 million. Simply because I think at that point, you're hey, to get that money today, assuming that's tax free, to get that money today, I'd be able to, invest it and then also potentially do something outside of high finance, like entrepreneur, like what I did anyways. So entrepreneurial and or even a more cush job, like a corporate finance job, and do more side projects and stuff like that. So for me, it wouldn't be super high to walk away because I wasn't a traditional. I was kind of off the tracks anyways. That's what I ended up doing. So it wouldn't have taken that much to walk away because I think there's a lot of other things you can do with your life that are interesting.
So $2 million was your answer for when you were an analyst back in the day.
No, analyst would have been get me out, but I'd say private equity associate.
Oh, sorry, okay, sorry. But what would be the number then today, right? Because $2 million back then is definitely not have the same purchasing power as $2 million today. Oh, it's only 3 now.
Yeah, well, I'm saying for walkaway now from WSO.
Or no, I'm even saying as an individual now, if you were in private equity and you had to walk away.
I'd probably be much higher.
Probably not.
I'd be much higher, and at that point, the carry is much higher. I'd say it'd be much higher if I'd already put in the time and whatever. Why am I going to walk away when all the money's starting to come in? So it'd probably be closer to 10 million or something like that, or 15 million.
Because I'm seeing some people in the forums right around 5 million is what they'd be willing to walk away with, and again making the note that it has to be after tax naturally.
Yeah, which is a lot of money, right? It's a lot of money. So I'd say about that. Especially a lot of people in the forums are thinking some people are that's insane, that's so much money. But if you're in New York or California, where I am, and you have any kids, it's
that actually, money goes quickly.
That money goes super quickly. House right behind me is now getting listed. It's a 3,500 square foot house. It's really nice, but it's 3.5 million.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's
a lot.
And that's it's not and it's not even, there's not a big lot. It's a small lot. It's on a hill. So there's lots of steps in the house. So it's kind of crazy, man. Anyways.
Maybe what do you think? What's your walkaway number? I guess right now, let's just say Pat gave you.
I want to make sure I don't pay you guys too much. Yeah.
What's the walkaway number for yourself?
Honestly, not at a place where growth is good. I mean, I wouldn't walk away from like a growth opportunity, but if I had to like walk away and like chill or whatever, I'd probably go for like 4 5 because you invested your free cash flow. Just once you invest, it will take care of you for a decent amount of time. You could probably travel, do stuff, but then I'm not sure if that's the
You
kind of
don't have a
life.
family. If you don't have a family,
Yeah,
you'd be fine.
Yeah.
Actually, 2 or
Yeah.
3 would be fine because especially if you're like a young guy and you don't care about like you don't need to stay in a nice place. You can just like you have a ton of freedom at that level.
Yeah.
If you're looking like family, like better to have 3 to 4 at least, I'd say.
See, but so
yeah,
I'd actually, I was thinking like prior to even starting this convo around the same as you guys, but now I'm thinking like I think you have to just shoot much higher because if the caveat is like you can't go to work again, this is like your true walk away.
Oh yeah.
Only having say 5 mil a year in your
I'm not
cash
assuming
flowing
that.
like,
I'm not assuming that. I'm not assuming you
Yeah,
can never do anything
you're not
else.
as, oh, okay, I see. So I was gonna say that life can get pretty not it's not even just like the money running out. I just think like life can get boring.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
to a point where it's like, what
No, if you
lifestyle
had to
can
if
you
you had to
live
like
on
not
200?
work, I would be like, ugh. Like, well, what are you
I
doing?
need a lot. Yeah, I would need a lot to make
Yeah.
sure I could do like super extravagant stuff to keep me
But you could
really
do fun
occupied.
stuff. Like you could do if you got enough money, you could do stuff like a YouTube channel and stuff like that, where you like go out and you produce fun things. You do pranks on people, or you do like whatever. You
Yeah,
give away
yeah.
stuff. You help people and stuff like that. Like
That's
that would
what
be
I
a
would.
blast.
Yeah,
That would be
yeah,
a blast. So like you see some of these YouTube channels where people like go and they give $1,000 to somebody who needs it or something like that. Like that would be cool. So
yeah.
if you have enough money, you could do a fun channel like that. So you could have hobbies that could end up making you more money.
Yes.
yeah,
But yeah, I think the number would have to be much higher if like you were forced to not do anything productive, like because then that would suck. That would just suck. I think in general, like your life would suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just lay on the beach. You get pretty bored.
Yeah. And I think it's just also interesting to get your point of view over ours, where it's like you obviously have children, you understand how much that costs. I've only heard from my parents, and I'm sure it's probably coming from a place when naturally when every parents harp on things, it's just kids are expensive, right? So and I don't know if there's any truth to this, but I think I remember seeing somewhere where it's like close to $1 million to raise like each kid from start to finish, like from like 0 to 20, whatever it is, like 21, whatever it is, it's about $1 million each
About
kid
$1 million. Sounds about right.
to do that. Which so it's like when you start thinking things, right? And I say to myself, okay, well, what does that 1 million entail? Does that entail a great school, extracurriculars such as football, hockey, golf, or is that $1 million just a pretty average life? So that gets me kind of worried too for
It's less
myself
than
as
a
I start
million.
thinking.
It's less than $1 million if you're like out, but you're like in Toronto, it's probably for sure $1 million. But like if you're like Midwest, you can definitely raise a kid for less money if you go public schools the whole way. You aren't going on vacations and doing all this stuff. But if you're trying to take your kids on vacation, if you send them to a private school, you have 3 kids, like forget it. It's like it's more than $1 million. Like
Yeah.
when you're talking about lost opportunity costs and the return on money too, especially like that's a lot of after tax dollars out the window.
Yeah.
So like the kindergarten, like it's like 30 grand here. That's after tax dollars. So think about that.
Jeez, for kindergarten?
For kindergarten. For first, yeah. kindergarten, yeah.
Damn.
So like
Damn.
think of like that's 1 kid. Imagine you had 3 kids, that's like $100,000 after tax. After
Jeez.
tax. And you're getting taxed here in California, probably like at the upper rates, you're getting taxed close to over 50%. So, anywhere from your effective tax rates, probably, if you're working at like Apple or a couple Netflix or whatever, you're probably making a couple $100,000 at least. So your effective tax rate is probably 35-40%. For each incremental dollar you're making, you're not really pocketing as much. So yeah, there's people here who are like have 2 high paying jobs and are like living paycheck to paycheck because their mortgage is like crazy.
Yeah, well, there's actually in this same thread here, someone made a comment asking, how are you saving only $150,000 if you're making over $1 million a year? Right? So it's just it's lifestyle creep where you live. So I think there is a lot of factors that people aren't realizing, because I'm only seeing like these small numbers of like 5 mil, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't think
I'm seeing it like Terry does well, and we're doing okay, and the vacations though, man, like literally flying 5 people. Like round trip anywhere. It's like you're out 3 to 4 grand, like easy.
Yeah,
that's if you like
easily
find a deal on like a Tuesday.
Yeah, and there's no first class.
Around
there,
Christmas, Thanksgiving,
like,
forget it. Like you're talking
commercial. Yeah, that's nuts.
Forget it. So I mean, it adds up fast, but they're great. So
that's life. Yeah, I guess pros and cons, right? So Pros and cons, but cool. Okay, great topic here. I think the third topic, what we're planning to do here, guys, is we're just going to discuss the markets here as a wrap up. So nothing too market moving this week. I think we didn't see anything come out of the Fed. I think some high topic things we have seen is just some other countries around the world settling oil transactions outside of the petrodollar, so doing it in the yuan specifically. But from my understanding, looks like indices have been trending upwards. I don't know if you guys haven't seen anything different. Looks like when I say trending, though, kind of like recovering off of a blip, it looks like it's still kind of sideways. S&P at about
We're grinding
4,000.
higher. Grinding higher.
Yeah, what's your
Everything's
outlook,
going
Pat?
up except Schwab. So be careful.
Effect Schwab.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think? You think Schwab's gonna have issues? I think people are.
They're all over the news. They're all over the news. They're going lower and lower. So
Are they? Because I saw. I think when I opened up CNBC this morning, I thought, well, I saw the markets rallying, or at least trying to rally, saying that investors are kind of betting that the whole regional bank and bank scandals kind of.
yes, the regionals are all like rallying, I think, but Schwab's just.
What's happening with Schwab?
They're on Bloomberg, right?
I haven't seen anything personally. I just don't know what's going on with Schwab. You guys know what are the headlines calling for?
People are mowing money apparently from.
Well, they have they have the brokerage arm, right? But they have a bank as well. So I think that's the concern, is that the bank side of it's going to be.
So it's another bank run, similar to what's already happened, I guess.
Exactly. I mean, the brokerage side of things, though, there's custodial stuff, so you don't have to be like, I have money with Schwab, so like I'd be nervous if it was like in the bank side, like if it was a deposit, like a bank. I don't have a savings account or a checking account. I'd be a lot more nervous there, but yeah, as a broker, with the brokerage account, it's kind of like
so people are moving money from the bank to the brokerage, basically money market.
Exactly. Everyone's ripping it or ripping it in the money market, or putting it in the money market, right, to protect themselves.
Yeah, so they just got downgraded by, I don't know, someone just downgraded them.
Yeah, it's down 5% as we speak. It's down 5% today. And
okay.
I own Schwab. I own the stock. I put in a stop loss on it. It probably triggered. Actually, I should look. I should probably pay attention. Let me see if this traded here.
Apparently Morgan Stanley downgraded them. So.
Ooh, that's
and Citi.
Yeah, it's typically not a good thing when you see that.
No, I'm still holding on. I'm still up 40% on the on when I bought them a long time ago. So, but it's probably getting really close to getting triggered. It's probably getting really close to getting triggered. If it keeps grinding lower today, it'll probably just I'll just take my victory lap and get out before I give it all away like I did on Peloton. I learned my lesson on a few of those. Up 100%. Thinking I'm like the man. Oh, this is so good.
Yeah. But that's similar to all the crypto bros too, right, Pat? Like the past years, making all the money.
Yeah.
On the topic of which, it actually looks like crypto has been rallying, which is interesting to see, I guess, just kind of given still the macro climate. I mean, I guess
the stop losses. I mean, Coinbase, I assume they allow you to do that with Coinbase Pro and stuff like that, right? They allow you to put in like trailing stop losses and stuff like that. So like
I think so. Do they? I don't know. You use Coinbase, Pat. I know I don't personally use Coinbase.
I know they merged Coinbase Pro with Coinbase. I know there's definitely Pro had a lot of, here we go, advanced. I'm looking at it now, but that'd be interesting. I don't trade a lot of, I don't like do any sort of day trading or any of these kind of complicated things. I just hodl.
Nabil, what's your thoughts on crypto? I don't think we've really had too much conversation around that. Do you like the space? Where do you kind of?
I do actually, not in the sense of like because I got involved in crypto in like 2018. I've built crypto miners. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
okay, cool.
I used to have 2 miners at home, but it gets really hot. Like I got a bunch of GPUs put together a miner, but this was when like Ethereum was like 170 whatever. So I used to buy a little bit. Then I think it rallied, then fell really hard, and then it went back up. I just sold everything. I was like, I'm not gonna risk it again. Just got out of it, because back then, like I did used to have time to like look at it and like sort of be involved. Just now there's like. And back then too, like it's the same thing, right? I don't think much has changed. There's ICOs happening. There's all this shit coins or whatever. Then I think in the middle there was the China issue. China was planning. I don't know if they're still banned.
No,
But
so China, I think it's banned, but I think I saw something Hong Kong's gonna like make it legal for retail investment to get into crypto, and I think that's where a lot of people are hoping for liquidity to come into the markets coming straight from China. I
oh
think
wow,
that's supposed to kind of change over the next few months. I think they're rolling back a lot of their restrictions that they had, so it's an interesting change in tone. Not too sure what their overall goal is because they were super adamant on banning crypto altogether. And it kind of seems like it's against a lot of things the government believes in there. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that liquidity to hopefully flow in, but definitely don't have my fingers crossed anymore. I think I've learned that in the
Matt's
crypto
been
world,
doubling down
anything
in the crypto winter.
anything could happen. Got to shoot my shot, Pat, for that walkaway number. I need
Yeah,
that
you
10 mil.
do. It's probably the only way you're going to get there fast, right?
If I'm after this conversation, I realized, Craig, I'm 28. If I want to have 3 kids, I need 3 mil just to support them, not alone in my own lifestyle. So
over time, man,
home,
over time. You don't need it right now.
And my home in Toronto that I hope to buy one day. So I need these things to go to the moon, as they say, and get me my 10 mil.
I would not.
Not investment advice.
I would not buy real estate right now.
Not investment.
Oh yeah,
advice
never.
across the world.
I would not buy real estate right now.
Yep.
I think, yeah, you could be.
Oh, so you're like holding a lot of crypto, Matt?
No, not a lot. I say I do it in a way where it's, I would say, I don't know, maybe 5-6% of my overall portfolio. I just like it because it's something where, yeah, I'm not over leveraging myself. Allocate small amounts every month. Just do it like a DCA action. I know.
Yeah.
Kind of took that from Pat. I know, Pat, you've mentioned you've been doing that for a number of years now, and I think that's probably just the easiest way to go about it. Yeah, I've learned the hard way. Doesn't matter how much time and effort I put into it. I'm not timing nothing in this market. So, but I think they tell you that coming in, or you learn that, or you read that coming into thinking I'm going to become a great trader, but you get humbled pretty quickly, and I think you got to actually go through it and get humbled in order to learn. It's probably best just to DCA if you're a believer in it. So that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, definitely not taking any super big risks with having like a 20% allocation in this stuff. Just a little bit of upside to.
I think Tesla doesn't own any more Doge anymore, or Bitcoin. I think they got rid of it.
No, they own Bitcoin.
I think they got rid of it, or they sold it for a while.
No, they sold a piece of it. Okay. I remember they sold a small amount of it, and their excuse was to prove that there's liquidity, right? And if you want to have it on your balance sheet, it's not just like a sunk cost. It is a liquid asset. But that was amongst the crash, I think, happening last year when Tesla was even struggling, and I think the whole markets were kind of pulling back. Elon is a big Doge advocate, so we'll see what that.
There's no limit on Doge, right? It's like unlimited supply.
Yeah, unlimited supply.
I love it.
Constant printing. Constant printing. I think I took a little bit of interest into like the meme coin space, and I think with Doge, it's like $5 billion worth of like issuance every year, so it's diluting itself by $5 billion. But I mean, at its peak, it was trading at an $80 billion valuation, right? So, $5 billion is significant, but not too crazy if you believe in these crazy cycles. But I think the markets will overall, just kind of summarize, crabbing along, moving sideways is what I'm seeing. Maybe a slight trend up, trying to push up, but I think still kind of getting spooked by everything going on. So, any other comments, guys, or do you think we should call it for this one?
Let's call it.
Cool. Well, we'll end it off. I will say, I think baseball season's starting off today. I don't know if any listeners are baseball fans, but MLB's kicking off. So
with the pitch clock.
Yeah, with the pitch clock and no FTX sponsors. That's one thing I've noticed by watching some spring season ball. There's no FTX sponsors on the umps gear, because I know that was where FTX made a big splash, obviously, sponsoring that. So yeah, pitch count, that's interesting to see. But yeah, season kicks off. So on my end of things, let's go Jays. We'll take down the Sox this year, hopefully, Pat. I don't know if you're not watching too much, but
no, I'm not. Celtics and if I'm lucky, watch one game. No, that's what happens. But
okay, cool. Well, great convo this week, guys. We'll be around next Thursday to do it all over again.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
And thanks to you, my listeners at Wall Street Oasis. If you have any suggestions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to send them my way, Patrick at wallstreetoasis.com. Until next time.